All right, what's up? Uh, Hello, everyone. We're back. It's been 2 weeks, and today we're looking at patch 25.13 for League of Legends and the latest TFT patch as well. I didn't actually look at the number, but we'll take a look at that in a little bit. First, and most importantly, 25.13, which means we are officially 2 weeks away from Yanara, right? I believe her Yanara's ability video just got uploaded, so we're gonna look at that as well. So expect this to be kind of a long one, depending on how long these patch notes are. But hang on, just want to make sure the lighting's good. All right, well, all right, let's get into it, shall we? Oops. All right. So this is the MSI patch. I expect their favorite champions to get buffed. Oh, actually, not as many nerfs and buffs as I expected. But last patch had a lot of nerfs and buffs that made sense for MSI. So unless they're backtracking any of those changes, yeah. So first of all, Aram, we have a new Aram map, and the return of the Bilgewater map for Aram as well. They did a whole video on this already about how they brought this back. So, I'm sure everyone's seen that already. That came out about a week ago. And of course, Arena is back as well, and supposedly it's going to be up for a full year, which I love Arena, so seems good. Battle Pass improvements, Champion Mastery BXP, catch up missions, all that good stuff. I own all the champions, and I'm a veteran player, so it doesn't bother me too much. Windows compatibility, reporting updates. All right, here we go. Starting with Briar. W attacks can no longer be cancelled, E-cast time reduced. Awkward bugs. So frenzied attacks can no longer be cancelled. This prevents her from sometimes canceling attacks when chasing fast-moving enemies. Oh, so a quality of life increased. So you're not even in control of her attacks when this happens. So I guess it can be kind of really obnoxious to watch an auto get cancelled because of an enemy's movement when it's supposed to be attacking automatically. Guess how much gently. 0.25. Okay, so this just makes her E go through faster. There's a little less delay on it. That's nice. Quality of life improvements for Briar. Fiddlesticks, W damage increased. Okay. So 60, 180 plus 40. 60, 180 plus 45. Fiddlesticks is one of the very few junglers I play when I get autofilled in the jungle, so not bad, I suppose. A little bit of extra AP scaling. Yeah. Yeah, they're being careful because support Fiddlesticks was really strong for a little while. Gangplank. W mana cost decrease, R cooldown decreased. Interesting. Experienced Gangplank players are opting for some mana salts, buying early mana crystal and selling it in early game. This is indicative of his play pattern not being supported in early game. Well, that's because Gangplank plays like a range champion effectively. So the mana cost on Parley is down by 5 at all ranks. And his ultimate is minus 10 seconds at all ranks. Okay, I don't think that's going to be that big of a deal. Nice for the Gangplank players, but it's not like a huge buff that's going to skyrocket him in the viability. Because even though he plays like a range champion, he's not worse than like dealing with Rumble or Gragas. So I'm okay with this. Irelia. Passive attack speed increased at lower levels. Really? Is Irelia losing the early game? Is that what that is? I mean, I'm an Aatrox main, so like seeing Irelia buffs always makes me worried. But then my second most played champion is Set, who historically beats Irelia, so 7.5 to 25, 10 to 25, so an extra 2.5% attack speed in the early game. Max attack speed 30 through 100 is now 40 through 100. Ooh, max of extra 10%. Attack speed now dynamic update if she levels up while buffed. Alright. I mean, Aurelia's been kind of bad for a little while, so who knows? This might be the little thing she needed to be tipped over back into being a viable champion. I mean, it's not that she's not viable. That's not really what I mean, but she hasn't been a I'm seeing this champion every game and is a problem kind of champion. So I'm okay with that. Kindred, our cooldown decreased at lower ranks. We think Kindred can be an exciting niche jungle pick at MSI. Yeah, an MSI buff. Okay. 20 seconds. Ooh. 20, 10, and then it equalizes at max rank. Huh. Alright. I don't think that's too horrible. I always get worried when I see such a hefty chunk on the ultimate. But as far as I know, like, Kindred's whole thing is she's just trying to get the stacks, right? She's supposed to hit 4 stacks as soon as possible, and then she hits a major buff. Yeah, I think it's probably fine. I mean, it's a minor buff, but 20 seconds is a lot, man. That's why I'm thinking so hard about it. Nidalee, Q damage increase based on range increase. Based on distance travel? Oh, I see. So the way this works is Nidalee's Q has always done more damage depending on how far it hits. So if she hits you at max range, for example, it'll now do 225% increase, which is a 25% increase from what the max was already. I think that's fine. The reason being, Nidalee's Q is a difficult skill shot to hit. It travels very far, but it's pretty slow moving, right? And has a relatively small hitbox. So you'll get rewarded for skilled gameplay on Nidalee. My problem with Nidalee is that unskilled players try to play her. And then they're completely worthless. Even if they get fed, they're just worthless. They'd have no idea what to do with a lead. So I think this is a decently good buff. Oops. Sorry, my background light went off. This is required for damage amp. Siege spell. Okay. I like it. Nice little buff from Nidalee. Rammus, health growth decrease, W armor magic resist increased. Yeah, the Rammus changes landed kind of weak from what I could tell. A little low on his power level. We'd like to buff him back up. Yep. Health growth increased by 6. Not bad. It's extra 60 health at level 10. So basically 100 extra health overall. Defensive ball curl. Goes from 27. Scales up to 47. Oh, wow. They almost double it. Not bad. This kind of makes up for the armor that he lost, right? Because he lost armor in exchange for getting magic resist. But since it scales this highly, it could be pretty good. My question is, what is the Rammus built now? It used to just be you rush Thornmail and then stack some armor, because that's what Rammus was all about, but I'm wondering what his build's going to be now. Rise, W damage increase, mana cost adjusted. Currently stronger than he ought to be and risk taking over the mid lane pool at MSI. You know, it's funny because Rise is one of those champs that has to be pro gate kept, right? He's just like Azir. If he's ever strong in any capacity, he's overpowered, right? Like generally, Riot tries to keep champions at around a 50% win rate, regardless of the balance. And it's funny how Rise, Azir, and other champs in that spectrum cannot be at 50%. Because if they are, they're broken. So let's see here. 70 to 190 is now 60 to 180, so minus 10. Okay, 10 damage. I mean, you max it last. I'm pretty sure. Mana. And it costs more mana, too. I guess, like, it's just to stop you from spamming it. Because you get, like, a free mana flow proc, for example, every time you press Rune Prison, because it's point and click. Okay. Twisted Fate, our cooldown increased. Best from last fight overshot our goals, arguably strongest mid laner in the game. Okay, extra 10 seconds at all ranks. Alright. I vibe with that. I mean, Twisted Fate is like guaranteed to show up at MSI in its current state. So, Vi passive shield decrease. Isn't this like the third time they've nerfed Vi in a row? I keep saying this. Vi's strong because there's no counterplay, right? She presses R and she has any follow up whatsoever, that player is dead. There is nothing you can do about it, right? Especially when you do have champs like the Twisted Fate or a Galio, for example, right? If Vi presses R on a champion and Galio presses R on Vi, it's a guaranteed engage 100% of the time. Unless your team is far weaker or they pull off like a next level bait, there's nothing you can do. It's just straight up instant loss. So they're taking another crack at her they're taking another crack at her durability, which makes sense to me. You want to make it more possible to just kill the Vi, right? Death is the greatest CC. But I don't think this is going to do anything. I think she's still going to be a priority pick, guaranteed 100% of the time. The shield doesn't always chew through in 1v1s that are more likely to happen. I mean, yeah, make her weaker in the neutral game, I guess. That's pretty much all you can do without, like, reworking her. But I think Vi will always be a strong pro pick. Guaranteed engage with the guarantee of always having kill pressure is just always going to be too strong. Yorick, another Yorick nerf. Base armor decreased by 3. Okay, I agree with this because Yorick should not be powerful early. He gets so substantially more powerful once he hits level 6 with the Maiden because it becomes a 2v1. So I agree with his early game taking another hit. Then some Aram changes. Sanctum and Mythic Shop updates. Spirit Blossom Morgana will be arriving in the Sanctum. Is this a... This is an exalted skin? I thought it was a legendary skin. Bloom Nexus Finisher and the palm of my hand Spirit Blossom Morgana animated emote. Sanctum Mythic Essence. We're buffing Mythic Essence in the Sanctum. 2 extra Mythic Essence. Wow, the Sanctum is so cool. An extra 2 Mythic Essence and an extra 30 for an S tier pull. The Sanctum is so fucking shit, dude. I don't know why I even read it. New skin preview on the client. Okay. And then this assortment of Spirit Blossom skins. A lot of them actually look really nice, but I think it's just because the Spirit Blossom effects are among my favorite. So this is an Exalted skin then, huh? I guess we'll take a look at it. How do I go back? I broke it. Yeah, I guess we'll take a look at it. Overall, these changes were relatively minor. I guess the Twisted Fate one's a pretty big one, and the Rammus one feels like a really big one. But generally speaking, a small patch with some relatively okay adjustments. Now let's take a look at some of these skins, I guess. We gotta look at Yanara's abilities, and we gotta look at this Morgana skin. So give me just a second. Oh, that's the wrong channel. Sorry. Where's my quality? There we go.
ramping up power and unleashing it at exactly the right time. So pour yourself some tea and brush up on your ancient... Up first, Yunara's passive, Vow to the First Lands. Her critical strikes deal extra magic damage. And, now that's it. That's the entire passive.
Wait, that's actually kind of sick. Oh, wait, did my camera freeze? Or did OBS crash? Am I hearable? Oh, there it goes. Okay, that scared me for a second. So that's our whole passive. Crits deal bonus magic damage. That's nice to see.
Q is Cultivation of Spirit. She gains stacks of Unleash by attacking enemies. At max stacks, Yunara can activate Q to, you guessed it, Unleash for a few seconds. She gains attack speed, bonus damage on hit, and deals splash damage in a small area with each attack. Unleash stacks decay quickly out of combat, so Yunara wants to stay in the fray to stay at her strongest.
Oh, this is kind of interesting. So it's kind of like Ash Q in that it has to stack up and then you can activate it. But then it's kind of like Zeri's ult, where she can only stay in it for as long as she's hitting enemies. Or I guess like Olaf ult as well, right? So I like that. I like that as a balancer, by the way. A champion has to stay in combat in order to keep certain power.
Next, W is Arc of Judgment. Yunara sends a swirling prayer beat out, which damages and slows enemies as it travels. It slows down any time it hits a target, then lingers and expands at its terminus, continuing to damage enemies who don't get out of the way. For E, Yunara activates Kanmei.
That's... This champion's kind of straightforward, huh? I kind of like it. So it's just a skill shot. It's like a Gnar boomerang, or maybe not a boomerang since it doesn't come back, but like you throw it, it slows, and then it keeps going and it slows, and it keeps going and it slows in a straight line. It's not bad.
Is Steps, which grants her a quick burst of move speed to chase down enemies, reposition, or dodge skill shots. Now let's focus on her...
That's it? Just a little movement speed boost?
Ultimate, Transcend One's Self. With R, Yunara taps into her full power, entering a transcendent state for several seconds that enhances all of her basic abilities for the duration. Her Q, Cultivation of Spirit, instantly...
Ah, I see. So that's why a lot of her basic abilities are so straightforward. Dude, is my camera broken again? What is happening with my camera here? Or is it OBS that's causing this to happen? I don't know. I'm gonna look back at the video when I'm finished here, just to make sure. Maybe cut out all these little embarrassing moments where the camera seems to freeze. Anyway, so the way it works is her abilities seem straightforward because they get empowered by her ult.
Activates and empowers her attacks for as long as she's transcended, which is a long duration upgrade. Her W, Arc of Judgment, becomes Arc of Ruin. Instead of a swirling prayer bead, she fires a beam of spirit magic that slows and deals high damage in a line. Finally, her E, Kanmei Steps, becomes Untouchable Shadow. She gains a short dash instead of movement speed, and the ult cast resets the cooldown. She can dive out of danger or right into the fight. When Yunara transcends oneself, her enemies don't have a prayer. Like many other AD carries, Yunara wants to play safe until she finds the right moment to get aggressive. She's truly powerful with a fully stacked Q. If Cultivation of Spirit is ready to activate, it might be a good time to fight. An even better time to fight? When her ult is up. Her mobility is pretty limited most of the time, so opponents want to lock her down before she goes all Super Kinku mode.
I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. An immobile AD carry. She's an immobile AD carry with Dude, what's wrong with my camera today? She's an immobile AD carry with only one reset. It's not just a do this infinitely. She powers up. She goes Super Saiyan. And then she just wants to run it down. I love it. This is probably the least bullshit looking champion that they've released in a while. But we'll see about that, right? It all comes down to the balance. I might say she looks like not bullshit now, and then she gets in game and she gets like 5 pentakills. So, you know. That's what happened with Samira. Samira seemed pretty straightforward and cool. And then she dropped a pentakill every single game. Alright, and we'll quickly look at skin spotlights and look at the Morgana skin as well, since I guess it's an exalted skin. Yes, yes, ads. Hang on. Mask one recall? Rip. Yeah, so we got another Exalted skin. Of course. Of course. Dude, remember when we got this quality out of Ultimate skins? Remember, you ever think about how expensive Elementalist Lux would be if it came out today? It's 10 skins in one. Their first $1,000 skin. Okay. What's the difference between left and right, aside from the color? So she gets a mask, she upgrades and gets a new mask. Purple's my favorite color, so I kind of like the left more. But I don't know if right is supposed to be an upgrade or if it's just different in some way. Okay. That's the Q. That's the W. Oh, that's kind of cool. It's like a pond. You can see through it. Okay. And then mask 2. Feel my euphoria. Yeah. This shit looks the same to me. Mask 1, 2, and 3. Oh, special VFX for blocking CC. Okay. Home guard. Transform. Oh, can you just change forms mid game? Is that all it is? Okay. And you get a special visual effect if your R's on 5 people. I like the laugh, I guess. All right, so let me just give my honest opinion here for a second, if you guys don't mind. Listen, I'm not against there being super expensive cosmetics in this game, but I will say this. My camera's out of focus. I will say this. If you're gonna make a super expensive cosmetic and you want it to be like a cool collector's item, I get it, but I feel like the way they went about it is so weird and dumb. Like the Sanctum, like locking stuff behind a gotcha I feel like it wouldn't matter so much if it was like the weird golden chromas we had for prestige skins at first. But when you're making genuinely amazing content like this and you know people will buy it, I don't understand why this isn't just an ultimate skin. I don't get it. Cuz you have a huge, like, I get it. You have whales that will 100% spend the extra money and go for this. Will this skin make more money behind the sanctum than it would if you just made it available as an ultimate skin? I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. It Cuz you have a lot of players who feel alienated and stop buying RP just off of principle. And I'm one of those players, right? Like the moment I saw I stopped buying RP the moment they made the announcement about Hextech chests. And then afterwards, when they brought Hextech chests back, I was like, okay, maybe it's not so bad. But then, I also saw Sanuzal Mordekaiser, and he's like, as someone who plays Mordekaiser and knows I'll never get the skin, I was like, if you just made this a legendary skin or an ultimate skin, I would have just bought it straight up. But now I'm in a situation where it's like, I'm never getting the skin, and I don't care to. And then you keep adding more cool stuff, but then you only put it in the sanctum. It's like, I don't know. They kind of teeter on the ledge of making good content and deciding where to put it, and I'm just not about it. I'm just really not. I feel like if you were going to make collectible stuff that very, very few people could have, sure, absolutely. But making $300 skins, $500 skins, and then locking it behind luck it's kind of gross to me. Like, if you really wanted to add exalted skin, you could have just made the skin $50 at that point. The only thing that turns me off about it is the whole gacha system, right? And the sad part being that if you really want to guarantee the skin, like, what do you do if, like, you mentally prepare yourself and you spend $200 and you're like, I'm going to get this skin no matter what, and then you hit it in the first 5 rolls? Right? I don't know. I digress. I know a lot of people have talked about this already, but I really just dislike this business model overall. I feel like it's so scummy. And for someone like me who supported the game for so long, it just makes me not want to buy anything. Like, nothing at all. But, that's just the opinion of one player. Like I said before, I feel like if it was just... If it was this is really expensive and really unique, but, like, it's not something that's super cool, super crazy, you'll never see it again, then it'd be whatever. And if it was like that and was like, just buy it directly, but I don't know. I digress. I don't agree with the way they did it. Like I said, you had a perfectly functional gacha system right here with TFT, where you could guarantee that even your free-to-play players had a chance at it. And even if they don't have a chance at it, like, if they're long-term players, they will eventually earn the tokens to do it anyway. Anyway, new Orianna skin for TFT. I suppose we'll take a look at it, maybe. Is my camera broken again? Alright, I think we're going to end it here, actually. I'm having some serious technical issues, but, I did my whole rant on this already. I might make an entirely separate video after I see them working on a skin. After I see the backlash for it, I'll make a video on it. How about that? That's what we'll do. Anyway, thanks to those of you who tuned in. I may stream later today for once. I don't know yet. It's 2 o'clock right now. I'm about to head out and do some other stuff. I haven't been streaming because it's just it's been really difficult for me as of lately to actually try and create any content. Yeah. It's looking kind of clear-ish. Anyway, I'm excited about Yunara. She seems like an actual decent addition to the game. I actually really like her. I still have a very poor opinion of these Exalted skins. I feel like this is just, the skin is cool, but it should just be an ultimate skin, right? Like, I think it's kind of weird that they're continuing with this habit of Exalted skin. I don't know who at the top of the Riot chain still thinks this is a good idea, and I don't know how much money they could possibly be making to still think it's a good idea. I feel like you have plenty of people who would just buy the skin for $30, $35 to make up for it. I feel like, because the skins are $250, and it's like, okay. You know, like, is that really gonna be worth it? I don't know. It's like, you would rather one person spend $250 than 10 people spending $30. You know? Is it that crazy? Do we really think that Sanu Zal Mordekaiser or this Morgana skin will make more money as a $250 skin as opposed to a $30 skin? I don't know. And if you were really gonna put it in a way that's like, you wanted to make as much money off of it as possible, you could have just put a direct price point on it. But whatever. You know, again, I'm not gonna keep complaining about it. I think it's a horrible, horrible business model, and it definitely is alienating a number of people in the player base. But it is what it is, right? That's how they make most of their money, so I'll just leave it alone. Anyway, either way it goes, small patch, nothing too crazy. I think the Rammus buffs are going to be pretty big, but everything else was pretty small. Once again, last patch, which I covered 2 weeks ago, feels like the real MSI patch with a lot of the changes they made. So, you know, if you're interested in seeing those changes because you haven't played the game in a little while, I made a video on that 2 weeks ago. It should be the one right before this one. So give that a look if you haven't already. And yeah, it's looking pretty good. I can't wait to play more Arena. And then maybe I'll make a video of me playing on some of the new Arrow maps as well. I did not play Brawl. I just wasn't interested. I didn't play it even once. It just didn't look very interesting to me, personally. But yeah, that's it for this patch. I will catch y'all next time. Oops. Sorry. That was the wrong one. All right. Peace.